Aisha's New Look by Catherine Murphy. Bug eyes, I grumbled. I've got space alien bug eyes. I glared at the mirror. My reflected eyes glared back at me through the thick, shiny lenses of my brand new glasses. My mother stopped outside my door. What did you say, Aisha? Nothing. I'm fine, I said quickly. My mother came in and asked, Are you ready to go to Aunt Gail's? I dropped onto the bed. I don't want to go, Mom. My mother stared at me. But Aisha, don't you want to see your cousin Danae? I nodded unhappily. I do want to see Danae, Mom, but I don't want her to see me. Not with these awful glasses. My mother said, Honey, your glasses aren't awful. Yes, they are, I insisted. My mother shook her head. They look fine, and they help you see. I didn't like to admit it, but the glasses did help me see. Without the glasses, everything was just a blur. I had been a resident of Bickford all my life, but until I got glasses, there were parts of my community I never saw. Take leaves, for instance. Of course I knew the trees had leaves, but without the glasses, I couldn't see them clearly. They were a smudge, a blur, and birds. Before, I could hear birds chirping, but I never saw them in focus, except in books. Now I saw birds everywhere, in the trees, on the roofs, and in the wires strung across from our streets. I liked the way the world looked through my glasses, but I didn't like the way I looked wearing them. That was the part of my mother didn't understand. Little kids look cute in glasses. Grown-up women look smart in fashion frames, but I was at that in-between age when glasses just looked bad. My mom patted me on the shoulder. Let's go see my sister and your cousin, and let's have a good time. For the whole ride to Aunt Gail's, I worried. I didn't see Danae very often. She lived in Clifton, the community where my mom and aunt grew up. My mom and dad had moved away, but Aunt Gail was still a Clifton resident. Usually, I loved visiting Aunt Gail because Danae just wasn't my cousin. She also was my good friend, but now I had the glasses. Maybe Danae wouldn't like the new me. When we arrived, Aunt Gail came running out to greet my mother. Come in, honey, Aunt Gail called to me. Have some cheesecake. They went inside to find Uncle Joe. I stayed in the car. I just didn't feel ready to face Danae with glasses on my face. Finally, Danae came outside to find me. Her brown eyes looked so big and pretty. Before she got to the car, I yanked my glasses off and hid them in my pocket. When I climbed out of the car, my cousin didn't grin at me the way she usually did. Instead, she looked worried, and she didn't smile at all. Hey, Aisha, she said, looking away from me. I was confused. Had she seen my glasses after all? What was wrong? As soon as we got inside, my mother said, firmly, Put those glasses right back on now. Aisha, you've got to wear them, or your eyes won't adjust. Danae turned to stare at me. Glasses? What glasses? She asked. I took a deep breath, pulled the glasses out of my pocket, and slid them on. Before Danae could say anything, I looked over her shoulder and gasped. Through the picture window behind Danae, I could see a baby girl, not even 2 years old. She was playing near the street. Then, as I stared, she toddled into the road. No, I yelled with horror. I ran out the door and across the yard. As I dashed toward her, the baby squatted down to pick up a shiny pebble in the road. I could hear the sound of a car rushing towards us. My heart pounded as I jumped off the curb and ran into the street. Brakes squealed, a car swerved, just in time. I grabbed the little girl and lifted her into my arms. My family ran up to us. The baby's panicked mother came running out of the house next door. Everybody hugged the little girl and me and cried. Finally, the grown-ups took the little girl inside, leaving me and Danae in the yard. "You saved that baby's life, Aisha," Danae said. "It's so lucky you've got those glasses. You might not have seen her without them." I was surprised. I didn't think of that. Danae smiled at me. Between her lips something metal glittered. "Hey," I said, "when did you get braces?" "Yesterday," Danae made a face. "I was afraid to let you see them before. I think they look so dumb." I couldn't believe it. "That's what I thought about my glasses," I said. "But your braces don't look dumb at all." We stared at each other for a second. Then we both started to laugh. "Your glasses don't look dumb either. Do you want some cheesecake?" Danny asked. "Great idea," I said. But before we went inside, I stopped for a minute to polish my new glasses. I wanted to make sure that I could see every single thing a person might ever want to see in the whole wide, beautiful world.